Jags going tempo. Webb again. Webb,
play.
Touchdown. LaDamian Webb met at the goal line, bulls his way in. Carries for 28 yards. They'll fake it to him. He's there on the wheel route, but instead they'll go to a wide open receiver into the end zone. Touchdown, South Alabama, Colin Lacey. Lombardo, the lefty, all-time leading scorer in South Alabama history. The field goal is on the way, and it is perfect. So the attempt. Once again, pressure off the left side. They're going to take a shot, looking for Colin Lacey. He's got the catch, and Colin Lacey is gone. He gets inside the defender and coasts into the end zone in South Alabama. 6 of 10. Pretty good average. It'll be Bauer again, and Bauer going nowhere. Charles Coleman, the guy that gets to him, knocks him back another 5 yards, and a big defensive stand for the Jags. And Webb will get the call. Webb into the end zone. Touchdown, South Alabama. Bauer takes it himself. Bauer into the end zone. Touchdown, Central Michigan. 7 seconds. Bradley under pressure. 4-3. He's got to get rid of it. Bradley will throw it downfield. Incomplete for Colin Lacey. The clock is at 0, and Central Michigan comes into Hancock-Whitney Stadium.
I want to start by saying apologizing to our fan base. The loss, certainly that's a disappointing thing, but the way we lost the game, we played with reckless emotion. We did not play in a way that represents this university well. There has been a lot of people that have worked tirelessly and done it the right way to build South Alabama's football program and the University of South Alabama and the city of Mobile. We did not represent any of those entities well tonight, and it goes way beyond the score. And so those are things that are a poor reflection on myself. I've got to get those things fixed. Our coaches have to get those things fixed, and our players have to get those things fixed. In our darkest moments, we did not handle adversity well, both emotionally and from an execution standpoint. I've said that we will have big moments in this program. I don't think anybody in our locker room, everyone expected to be in those moments, like last week against Oklahoma State. But the challenge of this program has always been building consistency in the way we operate, and we are certainly far off from where I think that we could be as a university, as a football program. And so those are things that we have to be very hard on ourselves, detailed about what we don't do well enough, and go back to work and put a product on that field, win, lose, whatever it may be, that represents this university well, which we did not do tonight.
Questions? You started about as well as you could for the first 12 minutes or so. Why were you not able to sustain it?
Yeah, they've done a good job offensively in the first half of each of their games of rallying. They made it, close game against Michigan State, against Notre Dame. I told our players, I told our coaches, this is going to be a 4-quarter game. We're going to have to fight through some adversity. And, of course, we had some early success, but I think there's some immaturity on this team that we didn't handle that very well. Can't say that we relaxed necessarily, but certainly the level of execution was not as consistent as it was early. Some of it was schematics. They made some adjustments, and then we went back in the second half and actually made some really nice adjustments off their quarterback run game. But this is a team that is one of the worst in the country coming into the game on third down conversions, and we gave up 9 of 16 on third downs. Obviously, critical moments in the game, critical moments in scoring drives that they were able to sustain and stay on the field. And then obviously late, we did the same thing. And probably one of the worst penalties is an emotional penalty at the end of the game. We get 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, get them to 4th down. Now they've got a tough decision to make. Do they want to make a 52-yard field goal, or do they want to go for it in that situation? And we just let them completely off the hook. And on top of that, now put them in a situation where they felt like they could go score a touchdown and put the game away, as opposed to take it to overtime. And we have nobody to blame but ourselves.
What did Wilfon do to swing at the guy?
I will say they were a very chippy team all night. They were pushing, shoving our guys, talking to our guys after each play. And we can either make a decision that we choose the team and to sacrifice a piece of our own ego, or we can react, which is exactly what we did. We talk about dealing with Murphy, anything that can go wrong, adversity, challenging, people talking about you, pushing you, whatever it is. You either make a choice to sacrifice a piece of yourself for this team, or you choose yourself over this team. And those things are very clear. And we had too many guys that chose themselves and their own ego over the team tonight. And that's a really embarrassing reality to be faced with as their head coach. And something that is, I'm responsible at the end of the day, and our players are responsible to represent this university, the city of Mobile, where they came from, and their teammates.
Coach, talk about your goals still being in front of you. Conference play begins next week, and the accomplishment of trying to get to that end goal of winning the Sun Belt Conference.
I think we've shown that we can play winning football, and if we will do it consistently, we'll be in a really good position. What I don't think is that we've let the emotion of a game overwhelm us at times. We've let the momentum of games overwhelm us. When things are going well, we stack good things on top of each other. When things are not going well, we will challenge ourselves. We fought back in the fourth quarter, got some great stops, got some explosive plays. There is some pieces of winning football and even overcoming adversity, but not consistent enough. And that to me will be the telltale sign of the next whatever it is, 8 games, right, of our regular season.
Their quarterback, it seems like you guys had him several times. I think broke loose. I mean, just how tough a runner was he?
Very, very tough runner. We saw that on tape. That they were going to extend plays with their feet, that they were going to run around. We've been a pretty decent tackling team. We've tackled fairly well for the first 3 games. I didn't think we tackled well at all tonight, particularly in the red zone, particularly in the quarterback run game. And ultimately, even on the last play of the game, that cost us missed tackles. So that's really disappointing. Had opportunities to sack him in the backfield with some of our best players, and we did not show up. Some of that is, credit a good player, but a lot of it is a poor execution on our part. And I think we got to have guys that expect to make those plays in those moments. But certainly 9 of 16 on third down is not good enough. They held the ball for 18 minutes in the first half. Certainly not good enough there. We had too many lulls offensively. We're not able to establish a run late offensively. And so we had to rely on our passing game, some awesome things that Carter and our offense did in the passing game to create some explosives. We did some great things of taking advantage of checks and looks and getting one-on-one matchups that we wanted to be in, but ultimately disappointed in the overall execution.
Colin Lacey continues to make big plays. I mean, that's like 5, 40 or more yard touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Just how big has he been, especially after Boise veteran?
Colin is a great representative of this university. He's a Mobile guy that takes ownership of what is asked of him, does his job, goes to work every day, not a big rah-rah guy, but knows exactly what is asked of him. And I think he's starting to play more and more with an expectation. He has worked so hard at his craft, at his skill. When he gets in one-on-one matchups, he wins more often than not. When he gets in space, he's going to win. We need more guys that will continue to play at the level that Colin Lacey showed. I think he's a standard bearer of our program and the way that we're supposed to do things here, and a great representation of this university. But unfortunately, not enough people that are doing the same.
You guys have done a great job of valuing the football. No turnovers tonight. You look at last week's game, taking care of the football. I know that has to be encouraging moving forward also.
Yeah. A lot of winning football. I mean, there's a lot of good things that we have done in the first 4 games. We have to praise and reinforce the good things that we are doing. And we have to work urgently and detailed to fix the things that we're not doing well enough. Some of that is tackling, some of that is doing your job and executing in critical situations across the board. Some of it is discipline and not letting the emotion of the game get to us. So those are the things that we've got to fix quickly. That's my job as the head coach. That's our job as a program to make sure that we represent things well. I think this team can be a very good football team. We've already shown some of those things, but we got to make sure that we keep the main thing, which we did not do tonight.
I think any loss, any week is disappointing, especially for this team. And, you know, the leaders on this team, especially myself, we're going to take a good long look at this on Sunday. We're going to bounce back on Monday, and we're going to get this thing right.
You guys came out really hot first, scored pretty much at will the first two, but kind of went to a lull. What happened?
Yeah, I think it's just details, with us as players. I think our coaches were on it. We had a great game plan. I think there was just some things that we weren't really tuned into. I think myself also, I can throw myself in there. We just need to bounce back.
The energy off that last Colin Lacey touchdown that you were able to throw, how did you feel about the momentum and taking that go-ahead lead?
Yeah, I think it definitely shifted. But, the game's not over. They have an opportunity to come back and win. I think we got to do our job and let the defense do their job. But, at the end of the day, we need to put points on the board. We can't do what we did in the third and have that little lull. Same thing in the second, because if we went down and, we scored like we did in the first half or the first quarter, we wouldn't be in this situation.
You go into conference play now. Just what's your thought on that?
Got to lock in. Got to be in tune to the details. JMU is a very, very good team defensively. We got to be on our P's and Q's.
It's disappointing because I wanted to start off momentum after the Oklahoma State game, keep the season going out strong. But we just gonna look into JMU next week.
How do you press the reset button as you got a big one coming out?
We just gotta focus on the next game and keep going. And don't worry about the past. Things happen.
You feel like you guys? You started out well, obviously. You guys
Yeah.
came down and scored 2 quick touchdowns, but was there any let up at all after last week and after you guys got off to the quick start, you think?
Nah, I think we wanted to start off strong. It's just mental mistakes and just mistakes on each play. It just set us back on certain drives. Like when we got started, we hurt ourselves, and we moved the ball most of the possessions we got.
I'd say we beat ourselves. We practiced it all week. We practiced running quarterback all week, and we just didn't execute.
It's how disappointing is it after last week, especially, to kind of come out with this?
No, it's I don't know if it was just like we beat Oklahoma State, so Central Michigan we could lay down, but like I said, I think we just beat ourselves. We did a lot of selfish things on our side, and at the end of the day, they beat us.
Yeah, you guys got 2 and 3 announced to start it, so you started out well. Of course, they switched quarterbacks. Just what happened after that?
Honestly, we just went away from what we were doing, and that's all I think it is. We just went away from what we practiced all week, and like I said, we made a lot of bad plays on our end, and they came out with those big plays they had, hurt us.
The feeling now is just be consistent. Like, if we could be consistent the whole game, it probably would never been that close. So just being consistent and finishing and staying focused on our mission.
The quarterback they brought in seemed like he was tough to bring down. Just how tough a matchup was it?
He wasn't a regular quarterback. That's what I say. Like if you hit him, you gotta hit him like a running back or something, like a tight end. Like, you gotta wrap him up and make sure you take him all the way to the ground, not just no arm tackles or just hitting and not wrapping up. You gotta literally wrap him up and go with him.
You guys are in conference play now. Just how do you feel about going into that?
Going into conference play, I think it's gonna be good. I feel like what happened today, we gotta bounce back from it. We gotta learn. We can watch film. So then we get in conference play, we can keep going to the Sun Belt Championship.